people. Happy, what day is it? Jesus, I forgot the day. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another bloody video. I'm on my way home from work right now. Do you know what? It's great because everywhere I'm driving at the minute, there's never a signal, so I can't ring anyone. I can't fucking listen to YouTube or anything. So it's a great little opportunity to make a video and have a chat with you guys. Today I want to talk about banter and why it's important and why you shouldn't take too much offence from it, especially if you're young and you're coming into, you know, crews of lads, and you might be the youngest in the crew. You could be anyone. You might start at 30 years old. You might not have been involved in this kind of environment, you know, lads. And, you know, we have the whole look about us that we're all rough and ready, and you know, and it might be hard for some people to take the banter, but it's very, very important, and I'm going to tell you why. So stay tuned. So to start this video off, just so you know, my experience with banter from day one. I started as an 18-year-old groundsman in a tree company, and there was about 7 or 8 lads, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but the closest age to me was about mid to late 20s. And then it was all higher ages above that, up to like 50 odd. And the banter that went on, you Irish guys are fucking brilliant at the banter. Look, I've never really worked in England, to be honest with you. I left when I was 15. So I can't really speak for England myself, but it seems different here. It does seem a little bit different in my experience. And I can tell you the banter that was going on there was atrocious, like in a good way. Looking back, but I was very young, and it was either go with it or go home, because it could get rough, especially being a young Englishman in Ireland. But to be fair, the lads were good, the lads were fair with me, and they treated me like I treated them. You know, we were good to each other. But that's my backstory with banter, and I took it on well, and I enjoy it, and I love it now. So yeah, listen to these points in the video, and hopefully it will help some of you. Maybe you're started now in a company and the banter's going wild, and you might feel a bit down about it. Don't feel down about it. It's all a part of the process. So why is banter important in the workplace? Some people might see it as just taking the piss out of each other. And it pretty much, that's it in a nutshell, is we're taking the piss out of each other. It's important because the environment we work in is tough. You know, there's real tough days. Look, we don't always have tough days. Sometimes there's handy days. On the tough days, when it's pissing down with rain, the work is tough, it just seems like the clock isn't moving, and that bit of banter, that if you can get on a run of banter through the day, that gets you through the day. I mean, if you're working with someone that doesn't you know, crack a smile or a joke during the day seems actually longer. So banter is so important, and that's why I often say to any new lads starting, now there's going to be a lot of piss taking, alright, and some of it's going to be aimed at you. Don't take it to heart. I've seen lads take it to heart. I've tried to explain to them. Some of them listen, and some of them start, you know, after a month or two, they start giving it back, which is great. But then you get lads that literally take it to heart and go to the office and complain, and it's what you got to remember, it's not personal. Now, there is a line where banter can become bullying, and I've seen that with my own eyes, and I've called it out. Because nowadays you see what goes on with mental health and stuff. Some people, you know, can't take it, and that's fair enough. You've got You've got to know the people you're working with, whether they can take it. But banter is also something subconsciously we don't actually understand, but we're actually testing people, and we're testing their strength, and are they tough enough? And this goes back for many years, that we don't realise we're doing it, but we're actually testing, is this guy going to look after me when I'm in trouble? Is he going to have my back? And that's what banter, a lot of banter is it's a test. Also, a lot of banter, if someone banters you a lot, it's usually a sign that they like you. Depending on the type of banter now, like I said, it can veer towards bullying, and that's where we want to cut it off, because you shouldn't bully anyone. It doesn't matter what they look like, fucking how fat they are, how skinny they are, how fucking good they're in a tree, how bad they're in a tree. We shouldn't bully. We should always be able to have a laugh and a joke about it. But when it becomes bullying, I definitely, that's a line crossed for me. I think it's good because it allows people to, it's a way of connecting with the other lads in the crew, and knowing the, I suppose, threshold for maybe how tough they are in a way mentally. This job is physically tough, but it's also mentally tough. There's lots of things in this job where your mental strength, you have to have it. You're going out into rough landscape, often rough weather. You might be facing, a scary climb, something that's going to have you nervous for the next hour or two. And that banter, believe it or not, I believe that it adds to your mental strength if you're good at taking it and good at giving it. I think it works wonders. Also, massively, and I know anyone that's working in business will agree with me, that banter makes the day go quicker. You're dragging 500 branches and the pile never seems to fucking finish, and every time you walk past another one of your workmates carrying a big bunch of branches, you have a bit of a laugh or whatever, and it just makes the day go that bit quicker. The clock seems to move that bit faster when you're having a laugh and a joke. Where, like, I've worked with people that, fuck me, are so dull, the day actually feels even longer than normal. So yeah, banter is so important, and it's the reason I'm doing this video. I should probably explain this first, is because I've seen so many young guys come into the company, or not this company in particular, but any company I've worked in, and as soon as you start giving them a bit of grief or a bit of banter, or say, what are you doing there, why are you taking so long, you can slowly see them get depressed over a period of a week or two, and it's like, what's wrong with the fella? We're only messing. But we got to understand, these guys probably haven't worked in this environment, a man environment where there's 6-7 men, with each other for 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. Sorry about that. So we got to remember that. So I think I've explained it to a few lads now, and some of them have listened, some of them haven't. But maybe it's just a way of filtering out the guys that aren't able for the job, because I really do think that kind of banter, it's kind of connected to the job. It's your mental strength. Can you face things that sometimes you don't like or you don't want to do? Can you face that? Can you listen to that? So I think it's good, because there's a lot of bitching that goes on within the tree industry as well, and you've got to be able to take it. You've got to be able to take being told you're not good enough or you're not doing a good job. You've got to be able to take that on the chin, because you're going to get a lot of that. So banter is super important to me, and I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it when people take the piss out of me for my accent. Look, I live in Ireland, and obviously a lot of you guys watching would love to call me a fucking Brit, a fucking useless Brit, and do you know what? I love it when you say it, because it's banter. It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, I couldn't imagine a day without banter, and I just want you young guys to know, or even guys that are coming from office jobs, maybe in your 30s, fed up with it, and you're coming into this industry. expect banter. I'm sure you have it in the office environment. I don't know because I've never worked in it, but I assume you probably do. But especially for young lads, don't take it to heart. It's about getting through the day, and that's all it's about. It's about having a laugh. Now, in some cases, this is the bad points. In some cases, there's lads that like to pinpoint one person maybe in the crew all the time, and that's when it will come across as bullying. And sometimes it is. I've seen it. I've called it out. I don't personally like it if it's the same person every time that's getting roasted. So yeah, you've got to consider we're not all the same mentally. We're not all the same. We're not all as strong as each other. You know, everyone's different. Some people haven't been through hardship, and you shouldn't expect them just to know how to deal with it. But if you explain it to them nicely and say, look, I'm not just taking the piss out of you, I'm taking the piss out of him, I'm taking the piss out of him, he takes the piss out of me. It's all equal. We're not ganging up. I don't like the guys that do the ganging up. It's weak. It's actually a sign of weakness in my eyes. A sign of strength is when you can pick someone up and make them feel good. So yeah, look, banter is important, guys. Keep it going. Banter me now, please, on the comments, and I'll give it back just as good. But yeah, look after the young lads coming up. You'll know the good ones. And yeah, let's all have a fucking laugh and a joke. And you know, we're only here on this earth for a short time. Let's enjoy it every day as much as possible. Because life is tough. Life is hard, especially with all these fucking taxes and budgets and all that bollocks that we half understand. They're just robbing us. But we won't get into that shit. Yeah, banter is important. Let's keep it going. See you on the next one.